Welcome to another video from Crazy Row Studios. In today's video, we will be looking at how to use nsrpush. EMC releases major upgrades to NetWorker at least twice a year, which means that to keep your NetWorker application in support and with accordance to the EMC's releases, you do have to upgrade the NetWorker server every now and then. Upgrading the NetWorker server itself is a daunting challenge, but a bigger challenge is to upgrade the clients on your NetWorker, especially when the number of machines that you're backing up in your network environment is in hundreds or even in thousands. So NetWorker has made available a tool called nsrpush, which would help you to ease this task of upgrading the NetWorker clients. The nsrpush helps you in upgrading the NetWorker client package. It also does support upgrading of the module packages as well. I have done a number of tests recently with the nsrpush, and the upgrade of the Linux file system agent, that is the basic Linux networker agent, as well as the storage node binaries, is pretty easy. But when it comes to upgrading networker, there are a few challenges that we have on Windows. So let's go ahead and check networker more in detail. So as I told you, nsrpush helps you to upgrade the networker agent on your networker clients from the networker server itself. You need not assign this task of upgrading the client to the system administrators, and in turn would be able to do it on your own from the networker server. nsrcpd is the binary which carries out the actual tasks of the push or the inventory or any other communication related tasks for NSR push process. You can upgrade the NSR basic client and the storage node binaries. NSR push also allows you to upgrade the modules, but my suggestion to you is to not upgrade the networker modules using NSR push. You make sure that you have a project created and plan the module upgradation locally, but you could try it. But as I said, I would not recommend the module upgrade from the networker server using NSR push. The other challenge that I had faced during the tests are upgrading the Windows 2008 machines. When I did try to attempt an upgrade of the Windows 2008 machines from version 8.2 to 18.2, the NSR CPD crashed and created a core dump. So I would again recommend that there are a few challenges when it comes to upgrading clients on Windows machine. The other biggest challenge is that when upgrading from Networker 8.2 to 9.x or higher, there is a change in the root certificate authority that EMC has bought in, and because of this you will not be able to upgrade it directly to 18.2, that is from 8.2 to 18.2, even when you're doing it manually. The authority certificate has to be installed before you attempt an upgrade, and only then you will be able to complete the upgrade from 8.2 to 18.2 successfully. This is again limited to the systems that do not have direct access to the internet, but if in case your Windows machine has direct access to the internet, then the installation process would download the certificate directly from the internet and install it on the system wherever you are doing the upgrade on. So this is again a drawback and a hindrance to carry out the NSR push for the Windows machine. So the best candidate, as far as I've seen, are the Unix machines and the Linux machines. Moving forward, let's look at what steps need to be followed to prepare yourself for NSR push. First and foremost is obviously to download the source packages required for the upgrade. So you would get these source packages from the support.emc.com. Download it to your networker server, unzip or untar depending on the Windows or Unix binaries, and keep them in a location which has ample space. Try not to keep it in the same location as your /nsr mount point so that you accidentally do not fill up the partition and get your application pulled down. Next is to evaluate the package. To evaluate the package, you have the nsrpush command to run with certain switches, which we'll be looking at when we are looking at the demo. So once you have evaluated the package to make sure that the package has whatever you want it to be in there, next is to add the installation package to your repository. Now there is another catch here. If in case your repository is not created, then the evaluation of the package would not run. If you do try to run the evaluation, it would try throw an error stating that the repository is not yet created. So you can directly go to the step 3, which is adding the installation package to the repository. Next is to list the packages available in the repository, which is going to make sure that you have whatever packages that you had added are in your repository. Next is the next two processes are the processes that need to be done for the actual upgrade itself. The first one being running an inventory for the client that needs to be upgraded. So this process is important because it goes and discovers what all components are installed on that client so that it can push the correct packages and upgrade scripts to the respective machine. And the last step is to run the push itself. So the 5 steps that you see in this list here are all run using nsrpush with multiple switches. So let's go ahead and look at how to carry out the nsrpush. Before we continue, I just wanted to make sure that I show you the KB article that is regarding the certificate change or the certificate installation on the Windows machine side. I will paste or place this particular link on the description so that you can pick it up from there. Alright, let's now go ahead and look at our components. So this is my NetWorker server, which is LNW1, which is, let's say, it's Linux NetWorker 1. I have a storage node which also has the same NetWorker's client and storage node package installed, which is on 8.2. This is the 18.2 version. Let me quickly run a command that would help me look at the versions that we have. So there are 2 clients that I will be upgrading here. One is a Linux machine and the other is a Windows machine. So both of them, as you see, are on 8.2 X. So let's go ahead and start the process. Let me clear out the screen. So the first step in the process is to locate my installation binaries. Let's go ahead and do that. So it's here, and let me switch to sudo, and the installation packages are in here. So these are the installation packages, the Linux installation packages for 18.2. So let's go ahead and first evaluate and see if these packages are valid and what different packages are available in that location. So for this, use the command nsrpush minus uppercase L to list out the packages in the media kit. So you have minus L used again, which is a lowercase, which is to list the packages in your repository. The uppercase L is to list the packages in your media kit. The media kit is basically the location wherein you have your installation files kept. Minus U represents that this is a Unix based package. Then you have the media kit, which is minus M, sorry. Then you have the complete path to the package. Just click on that. There you go. So it has discovered that you have a product NetWorker of version 18.203 and the platform is Linux x86-64. So let's go ahead and list my repository and see what I have in my repository with the minus L. Remember, the minus lowercase l is for the for listing the contents or the packages available in your repository. Alright, With this done, let's go ahead and add the Linux installation package to your repository. The command is nsrpush -a for add -p for product, which is lowercase p, -v is for version, -uppercase p is for the platform, -u represents Unix, -m represents the path to the media kit, which is this. Let's go ahead and hit enter now. Now you see that the packages have been added with the succeeded status. So let's go ahead and list out the contents of my repository, and you can see that we have NetWorker 18203, which is the product, and the platform is Linux x86-64. Let's repeat the same for the Windows package, which is again at the same location. This is my Windows package, which I have unzipped from my the file that I have downloaded from the support site. Let's see this, and this is what I have. Let's clear the screen, go up again, nsr push list the repository. The type now is Windows, so remember that last time we had used -u, which was for Unix, and -w is for Windows. Then we have location for the media kit, that is -m, and the media kit location is this, and hit enter. Wait for a few minutes, and there you have NetWorker 18203, and the platform is WinX64. Let's clear the screen and go ahead and add this to our repository. Command again is nsrpush -a for add -p for product. Make sure you type it in properly. -v version 18203, and the platform is this. This is of type Windows, so -w, and -m is for the media kit, which is this and this. Alright, let's go ahead and add that. Wait for a few minutes. Now you see that the binaries or packages have been added. So let me clear the screen and hit nsrpush -l to list out the contents of my repository. And now you see that you have two kind of platforms under the product NetWorker version 18203. Now this was the initial steps to add the package into the repository. Next, the last two steps, that is to run the inventory per client and the upgrade process itself. So first let's start with the Linux system. So for the Linux system, initiate the inventory. My Linux system has a FQDN of this. Let's copy it and paste it in here. Hit enter. So again, as I told you, this step is required for NetWorker to know what packages are installed on the client so that it sends the correct script and the installation files. So you see that the inventory is completed with the status as succeeded. Let's go ahead and run the upgrade now, clearing the screen so that you can see it from the top. So for that, again the same command, nsrpush -u for upgrade, -p, again these are the same, 18203. You don't have to mention the platform this time, but just mention the client. Now you would see the different tasks that are carried out. The first being the copying of the upgrade scripts. Once that is done, it checks if there is enough space available on the client. And this is what you see, the one which is saying copied scripts, check space, then it's copying the upgrade packages to the client, and now it is issued the upgrade. Once this is done, the NSR CPD is going to wait for the client to respond, that is to finish the upgrade and start the services. Once the services are started after the upgrade, it is going to evaluate if the upgrade has been done properly by checking the version, and then it is going to give us a status of whether it has succeeded or failed. There you go. So my installation is completed. So now that our upgrade is successful, let's go ahead and run the command to check the client version again, which is under home, test user, and this. Okay, now you see that the storage node for Linux has a version of 8.2. That's good news. Let's go and try an installation or NSR push for the Windows machine. So for the Windows machine, again, let's run an inventory. Let me run that command again to get the name of the Windows server, which is this. Great. Again, do the inventory, nsr push minus I for inventory, and paste the command, paste the client name. Wait for a few minutes for the inventory to complete. Wait, now that the inventory is completed, let me clear the screen again and run the command to upgrade the NetWorker on my Windows machine. 19203 and name of my Windows machine, and hit enter. The output would be similar to what you have before, so there's no much difference between the output corresponding to the which OS is running on the client machine, so the output is going to be similar. So let's just wait for this process to be complete, which is very similar to the earlier one. Alright, there you go. Then the upgrade is now completed. Let's clear the screen, run our command again to list out the version. And there you have it. Both the Linux and the Windows machine are on 18.2. Just a quick information, my Windows machine is running on Windows 2016 version. And again, as I told you, 2008 tests for me have failed, but you are very welcome to go ahead and test it in your environment. And if successful, you could go ahead and roll it out to your production as well. And another main note that I want to put forward here is to test your process for the upgradation using NSR push with a few test servers before you go ahead with a full-fledged upgrade of your entire landscape. The other point is to have a Unix or a Windows or a system admin basically on standby, because there are in certain scenarios the NetWorker services might not come up after the upgrade, which would throw an error stating that the services did not come up, and in such a case you would want to let the Windows or the Unix administrator manually start the services. I will also add a link to the description to an article that I have written for using NSR push and explaining a script that I had come up with for my own production NetWorker client upgrades. That script is used to upgrade a batch of clients. The batches that I had divided my clients were 20 per batch. What the script does basically is that it runs the inventory, it pushes the NetWorker upgrade using NSR push, then it records whether the the push was successful, whether it failed, whether the client responded or not, if the services did not come up or not. And then it is going to send me a summary once everything is completed to my email, so that I have a summary of which completed, which did not complete, which servers do need a service restart, so that I can send the entire list to the administrator, the system administrator, to get those services restarted. Another note regarding running NSR push continuously is that you need to have a delay of at least 5 seconds between every NSR push command, otherwise the command is going to fail. So if you want to use it in a script, for example, make sure that you have a sleep after every NSR push of at least 5 seconds, so that you do not go into the issue of your NSR push erroring out because you're running the commands consecutively very fast. So that is the entire information and demo about NSR push. I hope this was helpful to you and you could use this in your environment. Thank you for staying here till the end. Thank you, and I'll meet you on another video.